Thank you all so much. I am honored to be here. They used to call me hard-hearted Hannah. But when you hear your young people, and I've adopted so many people, daughters and sons, and you hear them speak about you, you become a softy and you want to cry. Because you think about those young people that one day will be in positions that you're in, and that they will be leading this city. And people such as myself, I will be gone. But they will know to do the right thing for everybody, not just a special group, every single person that depends on you. Yeah. And that's what I hear and see in City Hall. I tell people it's not the color of my skin. That doesn't matter. It's the content of my character. And some of them say, well, Ms. Johnson, I see on Facebook that you are a skeet shooter. Yes, I love my guns. And they say a lot of other things that I do because I reach out to everybody. And that's what God is about, that we serve his people, that we do right by his people. All right. And that's what I'm here for until he calls me. I'm going to do right. It doesn't matter who prays me, who tells me what they're going to do to me, but I don't go along. I don't mind that because I know what I can do. All right now. All of my sister and my son came up here and they were just talking randomly. But I wrote down what I wanted to say to you because I get to talking and there are times that I forget certain things. So I decided if you will bear with me, I don't have those prompts where you can put them up and nobody sees them. See them? You'll see this. But I wanted you to know how I really feel. And I want you to hopefully be patient and hear what I have to say. Because I mean it with all my heart and my soul of my 7 years as a city councilwoman who voted many times alone. But some people say, well, she didn't do anything. My God, if they would just take one day in my shoes. But the point is there are 18 other council members. And if they don't support what you're doing, you're blocked all the way. We are here this evening to focus on the future of our community. Jacksonville, as we all know, is a city that has the potential for greatness. But time after time, we have squandered our opportunities and blindly gone down the wrong path. Blessed with superlative natural settings and a distinctive blend of creative and talented people, there is no good reason that Jacksonville should not be a world-class city. We sense among ourselves that we do live in a very special kind of environment, a unique mixture of our history as a community, and the human energy, the creativity, and the resourcefulness of our historically diverse population. Look at you in here. Look among your people here. We are all a part of this city. Looking at this history, going back to the rise of the Port of Jacksonville at the end of the Civil War and rebuilding the city after the Great Fire, people of every kind of background have deliberately chosen to come began a new family, to get a better job, complete an education, to start a business, or to finish school. It is these traditions and in our rich diversity of people that the real promise of Jacksonville's future and prosperities is where it lies. Yet the reality of Jacksonville as a community continues to belie these hopes. Despite all of our natural advantages, we continue to lag behind other comparative communities in our efforts to educate our children, expand our economic base, and achieve a better quality of life for all of the residents, not just a few, every single person. Every person who wants to work in the city should have a right to work.
Yeah.
Please tell me, what's wrong with Jacksonville? Not so very long ago, after first winning an NFL franchise and then successfully hosting the Super Bowl of 2005, many people believe that Jacksonville's time finally had come. With all of the attendance, favorable publicity from this great event, people across the country were beginning to look at us and say, oh man, that's a wonderful place to be. The Better Jacksonville plan was another place where people were beginning to get jobs and the infrastructure was beginning to be fulfilled and fixing the streets, the roads, the sewage lines. Likewise, economic development funds were set aside in the city's long neglected northwest neighborhood. At about the same time, Jacksport was formulating ambitious plans for long-term expansion. At long last, we were beginning to feel that we had arrived. We were doing wonderful. Continuing challenges notwithstanding, people were finally beginning to feel good about the city. Now, after 5 years, Jacksonville seems more like a community in crisis than the American first-class city that so many of us had hoped it would be. Despite the ever-expanding overburden of state of testing and bureaucracy, our children, our greatest and our most precious resource, are not staying in school to get the education. I remember my grandson came to me and he said, Grandma, he said, that teacher is so hard, Grandma, you need to go and talk to her. And I said, well, Bear, what would I tell her? Tell her that she needs to stop giving us all this work. And I said to him, okay, for saying that, I'm going to give you some too. And he said, oh, you just as bad as the teacher. But the thing about it is, that's what our young people need. Our teachers are called upon to do more and more with less and less. Rather than empowering them to make a real difference in the lives of our pupils, we seem determined to break the spirit of even the most dedicated teacher. And that's not what we're about. Despite some progress, too many students are still marginalized by a system that seems designed around the concept that one size fits all. I know some of you ladies, we go shopping and we go and get those stockings, and it said one size fit all. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, ladies? And when we put them on, it doesn't fit. In fact, they fall down. However badly it may work for the individual child, in the essence of concerned parents and families, many students are allowed to simply drift through our classrooms, learning to live without discipline, respect for the